30 different artists did a challenge using only this color palette. You'll want to stay tuned to see the awesome results. For Halloween, I created this palette and asked artists to make a pumpkin out of it. But the palette actually sucks. What are you doing? Huh? Halloween was ages ago. So why does the palette suck? Well, if we turn the palette black and white, we're just looking at the values. Value is how light or dark something is. Bad values can lead to bad form, and good values can lead to, well, good form. If you want to learn more about values, check out this video. So this palette has some colours which are very similar in value. This can be used to add some subtle colour variance, but with a low range of values it can be hard to show the form, making the pumpkins look flat if you're not smart about your colour choices. This was completely intentional, of course. So how does a master artist such as myself deal with something like this? Well, I was originally going to do a pumpkin, but I had an even better idea. Pumpkin patch processing plant. So this is kind of like an assembly line in this weird overgrown vine factory thing. There's a little computer with test tubes and a beaker on the shelf with little lab coats that the scientists or processing people would use. The top section would show the pumpkins coming in, getting carved and being lit up by the candles. And the bottom section is sort of the final quality assurance check. Pumpkins get scanned by the scannery thing to see if they get approved.
Yes.
So I handled this palette by splitting each part of the design into different hues. The background of the plant all exclusively used the purples from the palette. The pumpkins use the oranges, the scanner and the candles use the white and yellow, and the vines use the greens. This way we have a clear distribution of colours from the palette so things can be easily recognised.
Yes.
So I added a couple of frames of animation to each part. I looped each section individually and then I offset their start and end so that they'd fit together. And then we got ourselves our final animation loop. I also added this sort of fake CRT TV effect because I just thought it looked cool. Let me know what you think of my entry in the comments. But obviously, I wasn't the only artist that did this challenge, so let's have a look at your submissions. I love how clean this one is. It's very readable because of the simple shapes and the divide in colours. The background is great too. I especially love the dither around the moon to make it look like it's glowing. Very nice. This one shows a very selective use of the palette. Not all of the colours were used, which is smart because that intentional limiting can help you avoid bad colour choices. There's a nice little animation too. I really love this pickled pumpkin. I like how the pickle juice uses the green and the off-white is used for the glass and the bubbles. There's an awesome retro throwback with this one. Does anyone know what game this is referenced from? Let me know in the comments if you think you know. I love the dithering in this piece too, it works so well. I love how much personality there is in these pumpkins too. This little guy is definitely my favourite. Check out how awesome this pumpkin mech is. I actually think this is the first pumpkin mech I've ever seen, so very creative. Nice work. The face on this one is just super scary and really well done. I like the use of outlines as well to make everything stand out. There's a lot of detail going on here with a bunch of dithering all around. I think this one shows an effective use of the entire colour palette and the result is this really charming pumpkin. There is a really smart use of colours here. They use a green for the shadow, which might seem a little bit weird at first, but you can learn a really important lesson from this, which is that the hue doesn't really matter as long as the values are correct. When the values are correct, the form can still read well despite the different hue. Along with the dithering, this shows a really strong knowledge of colour and how to apply them properly. And the result has this nice retro game portrait vibe. Excellent work. Atticus Finn made these little creatures out of the palette. It doesn't strictly follow the rules, but there is a pumpkin in there, so I let them off.
I'll let him off this time, boss. But next time I'll break his legs.
So many artists took part. I unfortunately can't mention every single one of them or this video wouldn't be out until next year. But you can see them all featured here in the background. Let me know which one is your favourite. I think challenges are a great way to learn, so it's super inspiring to see so many people so eager to improve. I've loved seeing every single one of your submissions and I really appreciate all the hard work that goes into each and every one. Thank you so much for taking part and for sharing your work with me. And if you want to take part in future challenges, make sure you join the Discord, follow on social media, and maybe yours will be featured here next time. Boom! Thanks for watching, folks. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss the next video. And I'll see you in that one. Whew. Right. Now I must be off with my people.